today we are having one of the most down to earth and a student favorite educator mentor in this engineering line over YouTube. The one senior which every student wanted the guidance from, Arsh Goyal. Okay. So hi Arsh, welcome to the podcast. I really thank you a lot because you have just figured out a little time from your busy schedule and joined over this. Thank you so much for this. So we'll start out with your introduction.
Thank you so much, Shambhavi, for inviting me. Super excited to talk to you. Starting with the introduction, I work for a software engineering company, being a senior software engineer. Apart from that, I create content on multiple platforms, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, the type of content that helps engineering students get to their dream jobs, get to their dream companies. Also, I see a lot of gap between tier 2, tier 3 colleges and tier 1 colleges. It's what I have felt being into multiple colleges is it's basically due to lack of awareness. So creating that awareness about what potential opportunities that students can get and how they can leverage those while it being in college, that is something that I am working at. And yeah, that's it, what I do.
That's so awesome. Like if I see anywhere over YouTube or over LinkedIn, everywhere you are just like building a very good bridge between all the things. So doing a great work, Harsh. So
Thank you.
I just recently researched about you a little bit and I got to know that you have been a gold medalist in your college and you just got a very good CGPA. So mainly, like, how do you balance this college CGPA and working in multiple societies? How is that actually possible for you?
See, I was good at academics throughout my school, so that thing was there in my mind every time. Ki I need to be good at academics. Be it showing it to your parents, ki, yeah, this is something that I've achieved, so they won't speak to me about anything else if I show them good grades. That was the mindset. And when I was in college in my first year, so I was not good at any co-curricular activities, be it these clubs, dancing, singing, and all. So I was not very good at all this. So I was thinking what I would do in college. So first year I was just thinking about that and I was just studying because I didn't have any option to do. So then first year I got the highest CGPA from my batch. So once you get that threshold, right, that you got the highest CGPA, throughout next semesters, now you have that feeling, yeah, you got that much, so you should be little closer to what you have achieved in your first semester. So that thing continued throughout 8 years, and finally I got that gold medal also. And after first year I got to know that like if you want to survive in college, you need to be a part of a lot of things, you need to explore, because this is just one time you get this college life. So from my second semester I started a lot of things, be it clubs, be it societies. I even went for dramatic society, did that Nukkad Natak. I went for anchoring on stage. So almost all the functions, be it a fashion show, be it an event where some presentations are being going on, or anything, like I've been on stage every single time. So that was something that I like doing. And apart from that, balancing it with CGPA, that happened.
And I guess that was the main factor which helped you gain this much of confidence and like building up these videos right away and mentoring a lot of people, right?
Yeah, very true. That experience helped me overcome whatsoever fear I had. Like I was taking some seminars or workshops generally that we do through clubs and societies, right? 50 students, let's say we are teaching some topic. So I used to do that, and when I was in my college second year or third year. Now, like from those 50 people, I've even addressed 1,500 people at a single event. So that is the kind of confidence that you build. So it's more about practicing, right? Practice makes us perfect. So if you practice public speaking a lot, so you get very good at it. So that happened.
That's so awesome, Harsh. And even I guess like you had started your software engineering internship at ISRO, right? So how did you got into that? Like what things did you did and everything?
So when I was in third year of my college, so I was not very sure of which field I should choose, right? There were multiple options. So somewhat like that time, my friend circle or friend group was very like everyone was talking about machine learning, artificial intelligence. So what I did was I did a course from Udemy on machine learning. I completed that one course from Coursera, one from Udemy, and I built some say small projects. So I was very passionate. How can I use these projects somewhere? Secondly, I was very curious. Like at that time, I had worked in some startups for multiple different roles, but I was very curious how government organizations use software engineering. So I thought of like, let's say somebody wants to get into ISRO, how can he do that? So I started doing some research. I went on LinkedIn, I talked, and I saw there were people who were working in ISRO. So I reached out to them on a cold email telling them about my skills, that I am currently working in like machine learning. I've done so and so. I'm skilled at this. And if there's an opportunity, maybe we can talk. So I took a lot of email IDs. I cold emailed them, sent my resume, and I got around 1 or 2 replies. Right. So from those 1 or 2 replies, there was a person who, the computer scientist at ISRO. He took my interview, he liked my profile, and he had work related to neural networks. So that is something that I was not very aware of at that time. But throughout the internship, I learned, I built a project and submitted. So that was the kind of experience. Basically, it was through a cold email.
Right. So through your social networking skills and like group and the people which you have built on LinkedIn, so that will really help you out a lot to get that
Yeah,
internship, right?
very true, very true. So
Okay.
network helps a lot. You can say reaching out to people, removing that hesitation of not doing things, that helped a lot.
So good, so good. And even like you did your internship in your third year, right? So according to you, when should a student go into internships or join internships? So basically, like what's the main method or how should students reach out?
Hmm. So generally, this internship word is a lot hyped. Whenever a student joins college, even in his first year, he thinks of I should go and get an internship. Whether it's a marketing internship, whether it's something, whether just they want to do an internship, it can be in any field. Without thinking about whatever he wants to do in his life or something, the first thing what I believe and what I have seen would be building your skills. Right. Let's say you work on your skills for some time, you gain that confidence on your own, then going for an internship and further refining your skills, that would help you a lot. Just going for internship for just getting the name ki you are doing an internship, that is of no use, right? And getting into a company where you don't learn anything and it's just some laborious work, that is also not considered as an internship. Internship is, you know something, you go to a company, you get a mentor, whatever you know, you use that, learn new things, get mentorship, and you are a better person after that. So that is the kind of internship you should do. So like, you explore different fields, the different technologies, be it web development, front end, back end, machine learning, AI, be it AR, VR, whatsoever field it is, right? And there's scope for every field. Whatever you like, you just do that. Try being the best in any of these fields, and there are a plethora of opportunities that are available. So this should be your mindset. Ideal time, it can be, let's say, uh, by the mid of second year. If you feel that you are confident enough in your skills and you just need some platform to explore, you can look forward to at that point of time. Nahi to after third year, uh, companies have a set defined internships available with them, so you can do it at that point of time also. Maybe in second year you can prepare for getting into those companies. Let's say many companies like Goldman Sachs, American Express, they hire when your third year starts, right? So for that you need some kind of a preparation. Maybe second year can be given for that preparation, and then you can appear for these companies. Yes, get a good internship at any of these big tech companies, and from where you would be getting a PPO later on. So this can be the process. It depends upon from person to person, but yeah.
Yeah, that thing which you said, that was very true. That we go in any internship, you take it as a campus ambassador
Yeah.
or marketing intern. In internship, the students go and they fill that out on your resume. Like, okay, I've done this experience. So yeah, that
Mhm.
should be yeah, very
Yeah.
right. So even you figured out your interest as in starting you did with the machine learning into third year, you studied ML and then you got for the internship. Then you basically moved on to software engineering. So how a student can develop an interest, maybe how to find out what's the interest? Because right now what we are seeing mainly that after fourth year, students are struggling. At one year they study data science, second year they go for machine learning, third they study software, web development, that's all over, right? So generally how to figure out what's the main interest in which field to go.
See, this is a very tough question, and it's something that not even a college student, but somebody who's already working in a company, or who has been into this industry for 2 3 years, still he's figuring out. Right? It's more about, you are in a room and you are blindfolded with a strip, and then you are asked to find a pencil in the room. So you would go and maybe find a pencil. Second time I would blindfold you again, and I would just ask you to find something. You don't know what to find, you don't know where to find, you don't know how to find. That is what passion is, right? What you are interested about. So that's very tough to find. It's not like that you would say this is something that I want to, you should. It's more about exploring. If you'll not try, you can't find. Let's say if I think of, like, I would go and find a pencil, maybe you can find something else out of, not a, if not a pencil, you might find a pen. So that's how you find your interest. Let's say you are not interested in software engineering, not interested in web development, but you start doing web development. From web development, let's say you see one use case within web development, how machine learning is deployed. Let's say you go on to machine learning. Then you find that machine learning is something that is of my interest and you build your career in that. So this is how you find, but it's majorly about starting up with things. If you won't start, if you won't do anything, then it's very tough to find your passion or tough to find something of your interest. It's more about start doing something. From that point you would have xyz opportunities from where you will like finally land up, yeah, this is something that I want to do in life, I want to have a long-term career. So that is something that you should consider.
Absolutely right. It's all about exploring different things.
True, very true, very true.
Right. So even we had heard about like internships or full time you go, we have heard that you have to do CP, competitive programming around. Right. So, like, what is your idea about this competitive programming and maybe its relevance in the upcoming future?
See, competitive programming, like what competitive programming is, you should be very good at problem solving. That's what competitive programming is. You are given a random problem. First of all, there's a big statement. From that statement, you need to conclude what the problem is. Then you need to give a solution to that problem. So that's what competitive programming is in simple terms. Now, traditionally, companies have been asking questions based upon data structures, which are mostly, let's say, there's a very thin line between competitive programming and data structural algorithms. If you're very good at data structural algorithm, you can solve a problem from competitive programming as well. It's just about how you decode that full big statement problem into a small question. Now, talking about the relevance, yes, it's basically about problem solving. So what a company wants is, let's say I go for hiring. So what would be my ideology is, I want smart people. I want to hire smart people. How I can judge smart person? I would give them a problem. If he is able to give me a solution, let's say within 30 minutes, and the most optimal solution using least resources, so that person is kind of smart for me. Now I know that he is smart, he is good at problem solving. I can take him into my company and I can teach him anything. Whether I want to teach him data science, whether I want to teach him blockchain, whether I want to teach him web development. So he will be able to learn because he know how to learn things. Right? So that is what is the idea behind companies hiring on the basis of problem solving skills, CP or data structural algorithms. So that is something that companies used to do. But yes, in the recent times, we have seen many companies hiring through different other methods, be it hackathons, be it some project building competition, ideathons, and so on. So trend is changing, but yes, it can't be totally eliminated. But yes, maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, you might see a different hiring pattern from companies.
Right, absolutely. So, and even Arsh, you are actually a own personal brand. You are a brand nowadays. If everyone knows about your name, that is Arsh Goyal. So, generally, how a student can make his or her own personal brand, or maybe what's the need of making that personal brand now?
See, this is a very good question. When I say personal brand, so you need to figure out why personal brand, right? It's not just about what is the idea behind people getting into this or doing something is, I would earn a lot of money out of it. So money should be a very second factor. First factor should be, you're thinking of a problem. How can you bridge and solve that problem? The main idea behind personal branding is adding value to life of people. If you are able to add value to somebody's life, right? If let's say a student who is in his second year and who is not convinced with software engineering, who wants to get into software engineering but doesn't have somebody to ask, so if you can be that guide, so that person would value you. For him or her, you will become a personal brand or somebody whom he looks forward to. And there can be so many people, right? So this is how you develop your personal brand. Identify a problem, identify a gap, try solving, adding value to life of people, and you would grow. There are n number of opportunities. Every one of you have a good internet, you have phones, you have different social medias. It's just about how to use it wisely, how to use it for the good of people. If I talk about money, definitely you will earn money once you are at a point when you can, like, you have that potential, you have a control of over a lot of people. So that is one. If I talk about how can what the need is, you get to know a lot of people, you get to have that good network of high potential, high caliber people with whom you can talk, with whom you can discuss, with whom you can brainstorm, and maybe you can get to a good company, or you can brainstorm, or you can do something else, right? So that's the kind of network that you build that is very important. It would give you a lot of opportunities that you might not get otherwise.
Right, and even what the students say, they reach out to us. They say that okay, for 1 month I have posted every day on LinkedIn. I'm not getting this many of followers or that many of followers. So that's one thing. Maybe a patience, a lot of patience is as well needed whenever you are going and it may be making your own personal brand or something like that, right?
Very true. But it's not about that you would start today and you would get XYZ followers just today only, right? It's a long term process. You need to be very patient. In the initial 6 to 8 months, it would be zero game. You won't be seeing appreciation from people. You won't be seeing people viewing your videos, liking your content. And it's just that you are putting out. If you are consistent in that phase, you would definitely grow.
Absolutely right. So absolutely right. So you are our own personal brand Arsh, nowadays, and you have even traveled a lot of colleges. I have been seeing you like tremendously traveling to different all over India. So what are your observations on to different colleges which you have maybe visited? What are your observations on the students over there? And maybe what is the main idea which you want to give to all of the students after traveling a lot and maybe talking to a lot of the students now?
So the thing is, majorly students everywhere are hardworking. They know how to do stuff, but they lack awareness. They don't know when to do stuff. Whenever the final year comes, and then only they come to realize that yeah, I need to study, and then they start studying. But if they start doing things from second year, they are like little more aware beforehand. They could have achieved a lot within their college. So that's something that I have observed. So it's not like the major thing that is missing is awareness of things. If students become more aware, the gap between these colleges would reduce, and they would be more potential. They would have more potential of doing things aggressively. So that is something that I've observed. Also, if you talk about students in different geographies, all over you will find a class of mixed people. Somebody who's very focused on something, somebody who is not very good at academia but he's excelling in something else. So there's a mixed kind of people. The thing you should, let's say, if you want to grow, you should have that network, have that group of 4 to 5 people working towards a goal, right? So that peer group would definitely lead you to some good place. So this is something that you should observe. So majorly you would find a lot of different people, a lot of different colleges, different rules. Every one of them have different academic profiles, academic curriculums. Every one of them has. But the idea behind everything should be improve your skills, be more aware, and get whatever you want in life. So this should be somebody's like mindset whenever he is looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because right now, nowadays, that tier thing is very much going on in the market that this or that is, but that's not actually true because it all depends on to the students, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is well educated, they have well skills. It's just that they're not getting that right path. And nowadays, people are working a lot for giving in the right path, like you. So that's one of the very best job which you are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
like you have been educating out a lot of people. You have been on LinkedIn and Insta, YouTube, everywhere you have been. So I would like to give you a versus over here: a freelance educator versus a corporate job.
It's a personal choice, I would say. See, if you talk about money, you can make money from both equally well. Secondly, you should have your priorities. Let's say if I am in software engineering, and if I'm teaching software engineering but I don't know software engineering myself, so that would be wrong. So maybe you need to have that experience, then maybe you can shift to a full-time freelancing education job. That is fine. Third thing is you should be passionate about things, whatever you're doing. Whether you're doing software engineering, you should feel that like every single day I'll be waking up, I'll be doing stuff. That is one. If you're a teacher, right, what drives you as a teacher? Is it the impact that you are creating? Is it the students whom you are teaching? What creates that impact? What creates that drive? So that is very, very important. If you feel that you're connected more towards the impact, then maybe teaching or freelancing job is good for you. If you feel that you are very good as an individual contributor, let's say if software engineering is very good for you. Talking about money, both of them have equally good money, so there's no point in discussing that. But it's about what your priorities are and how you would see yourself 10 years down the line.
Absolutely. What you even love to do, that's the thing which interests you. So
Very true.
even you have been doing a full-time job, you have been traveling a lot. So what time management do you follow? Really, like you have 24 hours only in a day, or how much hours do you get?
No, so it's majorly like if I plan to travel, so it's majorly on weekends. I don't prefer on weekdays. So all of my travel I plan on weekends only. I don't accept invitations from weekdays. I go to office, work from offices there. I go to office 3 to 4 days a week, and apart from that, I create content. So it's majorly about like students also complain this I don't have time, right? So I give this example: if something you feel is important for you, you will definitely find time for it. It's all about how you prioritize your time. Whenever you feel like doing, you should do things. Try to optimize upon things, right? Try to do the most important tasks at the very first, then go for other tasks. So this way, even in your job also the same thing happens. Try to do something that is very very important. Top 20% work should be done the first, then the things would be easier. So the same thing I follow. Majorly about priorities. If something I feel is important and something that I like doing, like going to colleges, traveling is something that I don't feel like as work. It's something that is of my interest, so I can do that. So it's majorly about if you love doing something, you can do it and you will have time for that.
Absolutely. I was about to say the same line which you have mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a quick rapid fire round here, Arsh. So the first one question to you is, what are your hobbies?
Hobbies, if I talk about, it's majorly content creation, or you can say watching movies or consuming a lot of content. I consume a lot of podcasts. That's something I do.
Okay, so what's the best college which you have visited, like which you feel is the best?
Best college, ठीक है, all of them have different experiences. Best may say it would be difficult to categorize, but yes, I like visiting colleges in tier 3, tier 4 cities, be it in a small remote town of UP or somewhere. So that's something that I like. I've had very good experiences visiting Gorakhpur, visiting Kanpur, visiting Lucknow, visiting Amethi in UP. So the small town feeling that you get being there, the students there are very like kind of respectful and they have high potential. Seeing them, that how can they grow, how will they come out of these kind of situations, and they'll go to these big tech companies. So that's the kind of thing that motivates me. So I have had good experiences in all these colleges. But like, although all colleges I have had very good experiences, but yes, going to these remote places is something that I like more.
Okay. And even what was the moment when you felt that, yeah, now I have done it?
It's not yet there. It's
Oh my
literally not
God.
yet there. So I don't feel that there's a lot more to do. It's just the very start, right? Whenever that would come, I would come to your podcast again and we can discuss.
Okay, very nice. So I would just like to compare here two Arsh, last question for me. So one is a Arsh who is educating a lot of people, who is in like mentoring, making videos and all these things, and one is a Arsh at corporate doing job. So what's the difference between both of them?
See, when you talk about the difference, right? In both of these jobs, you are creating an impact. Let's say if the work that I'm doing at my corporate company will be impacting 100 million users who will be using that product, and what I am doing as an educator or a content creator, that impact I can see in front of my eyes every single day. You see, I can see a lot of posts mentioning about somebody getting an internship or a job or something like that, people texting that they have gotten some benefit. You go around in Bangalore, you meet a lot of people. So that's the kind of impact that you can see live in front of you. So that's something that I see being a content creator, YouTuber, or you can say the impact that I can see instantly. Let's say the type of work that I do in my job will create an impact, let's say 10 years down the line or 15 years down the line, and I have around 3,000, 4,000 people working in my company, right? How can you differentiate from those? You should, like, you're doing something that those 3,000 people are not doing. So it's all maybe about priorities or something, but yes, if you feel like doing that, so you can do that.
Absolutely. My last question to you, like, what will be your advice to all the students watching out this podcast over here?
Yeah, so advice to every one of you would be, there's no dearth of opportunities. You should not feel at any point of time that you would not get opportunities. Just work on your skills. That is most important. Don't just feel like you would be devalued or demeaned. Work on your skills. Don't consider yourself not worthy of things. You can achieve whatever you want, and think big. If you'll think big, then only you can take that path of achieving big, right? You can be whatever you want. So from any part of India you come, from anywhere in the world you come, you can achieve that. Second thing is, if you're in college, do enjoy your college life. We have talked about what to do, what not to do, but enjoying your college life is also very, very important. Make sure whenever you're enjoying, enjoy at the best. Whenever you are studying, study at the best. You should have a balance between both of them. Don't just keep studying. That should also not be the case.
Absolutely right. So thank you a lot, Arsh, for coming over here and guiding their students the best for this. I hope many of their students will get a lot of insight, a lot of maybe a way to go further. Thanks a lot, Arsh.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shambhavi. It was lovely talking to you.